Everybody, Michael here from Get Fit Over 40 and Replica Airguns. This will probably be a combined video for both of my channels. So my Replica Airguns channel, it's the blog over at replicaairguns.com. And then I have my getfitover40.com blog with associated YouTube for the Get Fit Over 40 and Vimeo for the Replica Airguns channel. I'll put links in the description if you're interested in following any of those channels. Now, this isn't an airgun product and this isn't a fitness product per se, but since I'm a YouTuber, a blogger, I make a lot of videos, I have a lot of video content, almost primarily all my stuff is video content. I do post written articles and reviews and things like that over on my channels, but a lot of my time is spent recording video of different types. And so today we're going to talk about the DJI Osmo Nano. It's a super new product. Now, it isn't completely unique. Perhaps for DJI it is, but there is the Insta360 line. There's the Go series. So they've had the Go 2, the Go 3. They now have the Go Ultra. And I'd say the DJI Osmo Nano is very similar and comparable to the Insta360 Ultra. And what I mean by that is they're both modular. They have a camera that separates from the main body. They have screens built into the main body unit that has the video screen and a lot of the additional battery and transferring and all that kind of stuff, and where you would normally control the camera without having to pair it to a phone. They both have the ability to flip the screen. In the case of the DJI Osmo, this one here, you can actually flip this around like this. And so if you're going to be doing something in the front, right, so you're recording in front of you, you go that way. If you're recording behind you, or yeah, like yourself for blogging, you would flip it around this way. And the Insta360 Ultra can do the same thing. It just has a flip screen that kind of flips from front to back. Now, this camera is replacing my Insta360. I think this is the Go 2. I'm pretty sure that's the one it is. And it's been a great little camera. And what's really neat is it's super tiny. So it's actually even smaller than this module on its own. You can see it's quite a bit smaller. Not necessarily a lot lighter, but it is lighter for sure. I'm not sure the exact weights, but definitely lighter. But this one, as you'll notice, has a different type of case. So it does just pop in there, and you do need the case to transfer the video from the camera to your computer, for instance, if you're not going wirelessly to, say, your phone app. But this is a really cool little guy, and it's still relative. I mean, you could still use this. It's got this little tripod-y stand that you can put it down on things. You can hook it up to some sort of an extension rod, right? If you want to do some more selfie, get it out in front of you a bit more. You can just use this on its own. It's magnetic, so it clips onto other things. I don't know if I have anything metal here I can clip it onto, but it does. Here, maybe I can do it onto here. So you can see it clips onto metal and stuff. This one's not super sticky, but it does work. Clips onto metal and stuff. The problem with this is I don't have a built-in screen, so you just kind of have to hope that you're recording it properly, or you have to pair it to your phone to preview the image, which isn't a big deal, but it takes some time. And it's just not quite the high quality that these new ones are coming out at. So I can record in 2.7K at 60 frame with this guy, but that's about it. It's basically a square image, which is nice because you can go in after the fact and decide what aspect ratio you want. If you want to go portrait or widescreen or landscape modes, that's what's really nice about this one. So you don't have to choose at the time of your recording. With the DJI Osmo, you're going to have to basically, if you want to go landscape, you'd hold it this way. If you want to go portrait, you'd hold it this way. You could go 4:3 and kind of get the best of both worlds, but it's not a square sensor. So if you're not sure what you're going to do, wide or portrait, landscape or portrait, then I'd suggest you record in 4:3 and then you can crop later in post. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. But the nice thing about this is it's true 4K, 60 frames per second, really high quality. It has a big sensor, so it's a 1/1.3 sensor. I'm not sure what this is, but it's much smaller, so you need more light. It just doesn't capture as much detail in the image as you get from a larger video sensor that is on here. So just the quality is that much better. It's a newer camera. It's got newer processing and all that. So it's just time to basically upgrade. And what I'm going to be using this for is pretty much a lot of stuff. I can do a lot of my blogging, whereas before I would use my phone. Just not ideal. Phones are okay. If you've got a decent phone, they're okay for that. But they're oftentimes it's hard to get them far enough away. They just don't have the widescreen that I'm looking for that this is capable of. This goes ultra wide, so I can get all kinds of background if I want to get like more of my body, not just my head. in the image as I'm blogging. There's just so many options with this one in terms of, how cropped in you want to be. Stabilization, it can do self-leveling. You've got all these different modes for correcting the video so it's not warped, so like an anti-warp mode. And just overall really good low light video settings, all of that. And the ability to pretty much put it anywhere, because again, this one is magnetic, right? And it's really magnetic, and it's magnetic on the side as well. So you've got a side whoops, not so good on round objects, but you've got this side mount here. So if you want to put it on something, and not the bottom, but the side and the back are magnetic. So that's really cool. Now what I like, I'm just going to quickly say why I got the DJI Osmo over the Nano, since I already have a lot of Insta360 products. Like this guy, I have the Insta360 X4. This is a 360 camera. And like, why do I need all these cameras? Well, they all do certain things kind of better one over the other, right? The 360 camera records everywhere, and which is nice when I'm just like, on a bike or something, or I'm not sure exactly what I want to record. I can just put the stick out there, and later on, I can go in and I can decide what I want to, basically what part of the video, what angle I want to be in my main video. Of course, with the 360 camera, you can upload the video or post it or whatever, even upload to YouTube, for instance, in a 360 format so that the user gets to decide. But most of the time I don't do that. I'll figure out what I want in basically the 16 by 9 image that I'm going to output to, and I can choose where I want the camera to point. I can change directions at any time throughout the video, and really, do a lot of editing and directional stuff in post, so I don't have to worry about when I'm shooting, where the camera's pointed at. And so that's the advantage of a 360 camera. The advantage of these little guys is they're just so tiny and they're so discreet. And if I wanted to, I could just take this with me, and I could, for instance, just put it on a different mount like this one here. These just clip on. This will clip onto a GoPro mount, or I can put it right on a stick of some sort, of selfie stick, right? And you just clip it on here. There's a whole bunch of stuff that comes in the box. Let's just take a quick look while I'm at it. Okay. So you do get your little cable. It even comes with this guy here, which is nice. Whoops. Nope. So this guy is just a little protective case, which is nice. It comes with that. It comes with this mount here, which even works on the protective case. So you can see it just snaps right on there. And if I don't want a suction cup, I can unscrew this, and it's just a camera mount for like a pole or some sort of selfie stick or whatever you're putting it on. So it's directional as well. You can tilt it. You can use it. So this comes with it as well, which is really cool. You also get this hat mount that you can clip on here as well. So you can see that, and you can change it, put it on either side, right? So this clips onto the rim of your hat. You could put it on a car window. The other thing is this is magnetic as well. So if you want to put it somewhere and change the angle, so if you want to go to a gym, for instance, and then put it on some sort of equipment and then change the angle, you can do that. So many options. You also have this, I guess, lanyard. I'll call it a lanyard style one. And this allows you to wear it on your chest, and it just magnetically attaches, and it kind of keeps it in place pretty good there. You can even attach it through a shirt or a sweater, a light sweater. So very usable. And for some reason I have two cables. I think one's from something else, but it does come with one cable. I believe it comes with the USB-C to USB-C cable. So I just had another one in there for some reason. So really cool. So getting back to why I picked this one over the Insta360 Ultra is because, well, it was less money, by probably about $100. It comes with more accessories. You don't get all these accessories with the Insta360 Ultra. You do get a lanyard, but I think that's pretty much it. You might get a hat clip of some sort, but there's no other stuff. I can't remember exactly what it comes with, but there's way more stuff here that you can use. The only thing you might want to get is some sort of bicycle mount, but you could use this and put it on some sort of bicycle mount, just something that would go on your bars, then clips into the camera mount. So there's a whole bunch of ways you can clip this and put it on just about anything that you want. Now, in terms of all the specs and features and everything, you can go online, you can find that, you can watch a ton of videos. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not even going to really compare the Ultra or the Insta360 Ultra too much to the DJI Osmo Nano, because at the end of the day, they're extremely similar in features, quality, all of that kind of stuff. It's just that each one's going to have its own unique sort of advantages and disadvantages. Now I do want to just quickly go through the interface. So you do have these buttons here. So when you're just using the camera by itself, you can push this button to turn it on and to do a quick video if you want. There's just different quick video settings. Or you can just hold the button down and turn it on here. Should turn on in a second. Maybe I held it too long. There we go. So just a quick hold the button down and you're good to go. Now, yeah, you can see here it's just looking back at me. You can swipe different ways. So if I want to change the video modes, you just swipe from left to right. So I can have super light night. I got photo, video, super night for low light, slow-mo, and then time lapse. So you just basically go back, or you go up to go back. You go down from the top, you've got all your settings, and which is nice too, is this one works with the DJI mic. So I've got this little DJI mic here, and I can just easily pair it up by going into this setting here and just clicking on the mic. And you'll see here, if I turn the mic on, I've already paired it. So if I turn the mic on, let's see here, it should just come up on the screen. In a second, there you go. So it tells me battery level and everything. And now it's ready to go. So if I wanted to record something, you're gonna see at the top, you're gonna see, how does this work now? If I wanted to record something, let's just do it. Let me show you. You should see, oh, is that a photo? Okay, I'm in photo mode. So let's go in video mode. There we go. There. So now that I'm in video mode, you can see there's a little level at the top. With photos, you don't get recording of audio, obviously, so you don't see it. But with videos, you see this orange, or the green line and the orange, so you know what your peak levels are. And it's actually just working with the mic. So I'm speaking right into it and recording as we go here. So I don't need to hit record just yet, but the mic is working perfectly. So again, there's a whole bunch of settings here, you know, different things like if you want voice control, things like that. If you want, what is this one here? Custom buttons, a whole bunch of power settings. You can lock the screen, you can adjust brightness. You've got always on display, timer shooting, built-in mic, audio backup. So that's kind of cool. You've got a whole bunch of different configurations here. Bitrate, so it's in standard. I could go high, which is kind of a good idea. We're going to do that. Sound is in high quality. Wireless connection, let's just see here. Underwater color correction, no thanks. Yeah, so cool. Built-in mic backup, what is that? Unable to save audio with video recorded in slow motion mode at 4K. Okay, what is that? Built-in mic auto backup. I don't know what that is. I'd have to look into that. There's of course going to be things I don't know about on this guy. If you go from this side, so you can change the video, right? Now if you go up from the bottom, you get to change your resolutions. So you can see here, we are in, what mode are we in? We are in, so if I go 4K, I can do 60 frames a second. If I go 4:3, I can do 50 frames per second. So 4K 16:9, I can go 60 frames per second. And as you get into the higher modes, you still get 60, but if you want the 120 frames per second, okay, so we're just gonna say 16:9, we're good there. And we'll come back down. Now if I want to change it and go to, I can go to slow-mo, and you'll see here we're in 1080p and we're in 8 times, so 240 frames per second. But I can go all the way up to 4K, 120 frames per second. So that's really cool. And you've got different resolutions. So we've got standard, de-warp, or you can go widescreen. So each one allows you to do different types of things as well. So if I go back down here, let's say I switch it to just regular video mode, and then I can go up here, and now I can go, I've got standard, de-warp, wide, and ultra wide. And you see how it changes on the screen as I do that. So you see different modes. Now, I didn't want to go too much into this, but that's kind of how it works, going through the menus. Now at this point, I think what we're going to do is we're going to get right into some sample videos that I'm going to record after this. And we'll see how that goes and see what you think of the camera. Alrighty, let's see, this is pretty wide. Let's go inside. Alright, so just kind of seeing how this vlogging works here. This is just widescreen, it's very wide, extremely wide. And yeah, up here, framing it just right. we're gonna try and frame it in ultra wide next. So this is like ultra wide. Wow, that's pretty wide. I mean, I don't mind that. If you want to get a super wide shot, you can totally do it with a very short handled stick like this guy. This might be pretty good. We are gonna go into the dark a little bit here, see what happens. So definitely I look dark, but maybe I'm better now. Yeah, okay, so it's pretty dark here. It's doing okay, I think. And wonder what the stabilization looks like. But this might be my new blogger. I think so. Pretty cool. Okay, so we're just testing out the mic here. It's getting a little darker, but hopefully this thing is doing good. And I just got it in wide mode, but I thought I'd check out the microphone. You can see it's on my hat. I usually wear it on my hat when I got a hat on. Why not? It's right near my mouth. You don't get any pops or anything like that when you say peas and stuff. If it's too close to your mouth, sometimes you get that. But the way it is up there, it's usually pretty good. I have the little dead cat on there as well, so that kind of helps change the lighting a little bit here. But yeah, I think this will work pretty good. I'm hoping the audio sounds good. I'm just gonna move it somewhere else for fun. Oh, it's stuck on there pretty good. There we go. Let's put it right here. Okay, so slightly different position. See how that sounds? That's probably another position I'll have it some of the time if I don't have a hat on, for instance. But yeah. So we are walking, and you can see my screen here. It's recording what I'm recording. I'm wearing the hat mount, so it's on my hat, and I'm just kind of walking around in different places here, looking up and down. See if this works pretty good here. I've got it in ultra wide. So there's a bit of stuttering in here a little bit. You can see it stutters a little bit, but it's not, it gives you at least you know kind of where you're pointing, so that you don't have to really worry. If I want to adjust the angle slightly, maybe it's a little too high or a little too low, I could adjust it. So if I wanted to see here, if I wanted to adjust it lower, so I could have it looking down more. So if I'm doing some remote control stuff, then I could point it down while I'm walking, which is kind of cool. Or it's hard to know where it is on here, or point it up, back up, to catch more of what I'm doing. So I'm in horizon leveling, and basically the only mode you have is a D-warp. So it's probably the narrowest field of view you're going to get on this camera with the horizon leveling. But you can see in here, it's like perfect. So especially when you're wearing it on the lanyard and you're not holding it, and you can't hold it necessarily straight. So right now I'm tilting my body left and right. It will kind of go once you get to a certain point. It will tilt, which is kind of cool. I like that it does tilt a little bit if you go really far. But if I go a little bit, I'm going back and forth a little bit, but you'd never see it on the actual video. So really cool how it does it. I like that it does give you an actual tilt at a certain point. That way it's probably not cropping in quite as much, and it gives you some real world, like not everybody is recording perfectly straight all the time. And if I do something really radical, it's gonna lean the camera a little bit like it would normally do naturally. So yeah, this is really cool. So we are in Costco doing a walk around. I'm wearing the lanyard. I'm using horizon leveling, and we are in, it's got D-warp. We're doing 4K 60 frames per second, and just testing out indoor walking around in Costco of all places, because it's probably one of the best and biggest stores. Look at all this Halloween stuff already, and all the goodies, all the candy for the kidzos. So I just wanted to make sure everything's working good inside in the store. And I did have to reset the horizon leveling because it wasn't working there for a bit, but you can calibrate it. So I did that. It seems to be working better now. So if your horizon stabilization isn't horizontally perfect, just do a calibration. And so, yeah, here we are. There's wifey looking at the meats. And that's our shopping cart full of stuff. Doing an indoor test in manual mode, basically recording at 30 frames per second with a 30 frame or 30 shutter speed. So just trying to allow as much light in as possible. And I think the ISO is pretty high. I just adjusted it manually till it looked about right. We're still at a minus 1.3 EV, minus 1.3 to 1.7. It's sort of moving around, but it is a very dark environment, so I don't want it to be too bright because it's not bright in here. And if I wanted to make it bright, it would probably have to use a much higher ISO and get more grain, and that's kind of what I'm trying to avoid. I just want to make this as natural looking as possible for indoor low light situations. And hopefully it's still fairly smooth at 30 frames, 30 shutter speed as well. And this is super night mode, so we'll see if this looks any better than when I use manual settings, when I was using the 30 frames per second and the 30 shutter speed with a higher ISO to get more of a natural lighting. I like the exposure, looks pretty good. It's maybe potentially a little brighter than when I did it manually without using the super night mode. So I'm just going to look at it. It's hard to tell on this little screen, but it looks pretty reasonable, and maybe it's going to be a little smoother. I don't know. So we'll just have a look and see which one turns out better. So we're testing out the DJI Osmo Nano, and it's kind of a cloudy day today. So there's no direct sunlight. All the sun is being diffused by the clouds. So it's fairly indirect lighting, diffused, which is nice. So it's not going to cast a lot of shadows, but it's not going to be really vibrant colors. Usually with a lot of bright sun, you get a little more vibrant colors, but you know, it's a little cloudy obviously, so it's going to reflect that in the image. We're just recording with horizon leveling and de-warps because I want everything to look as non-action camera as possible. Kind of like you're doing a vlog, right? When you're doing a vlog, it's nice to not have all the round edges and things, just to have everything nice and straight and true for blogging. But we're still getting a nice wide angle. I'm just using the built-in mic right now with the selfie stick. I've got the monitor connected so I can see what's going on the screen. It all looks nice and framed. You know, it's a fairly wide image, so even if it was a little off, I don't need the viewfinder necessarily for this. You could always crop and post or whatever, but it's a nice wide angle. And we're just walking the dogs, having a nice time. Walking around here, we're by the airport. And I'm gonna switch it over to the hat mount right now, which is cool. So I'm just gonna take this off. And we're on the hat mount now. So you can see here, I can see what's going on the hat mount. Walking by some people, see the doggos. Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
And yeah, I should probably try ninja walking a little bit. But what's cool is I can see what's in the viewfinder. So if I wanted to adjust the angle of my hat mount a little bit, I could do it because it is adjustable, the angle, which is nice. I do feel the camera slightly on the hat mount, and my hat is not a super tight one. So probably what you might want to do if you're wearing a hat mount is just, you know, tighten that hat up slightly just so the thing's not wobbling around as much, because I might get a little bit of vibration in the camera if I'm not walking perfectly smooth. Because I can feel it moving a little bit, so you might see that in the camera. Hopefully it's taking out most of it. So just a little test in the car here to see what kind of lighting we get. So it's, you know, it's not exactly super bright in the car. It's a cloudy day, but it's not the dark, dismal day. It's just got some, you know, it's not a super sunny day. And we're just, we're in horizon stabilizing mode with de-warp. So it's about as pinched in as you're going to get on this camera. It's still wide. I'm just holding on to the mount, the hat clip mount, just to hold on to the camera, which gets it a little further out, but not much. And it seems to work pretty good. So this little hat clip is kind of neat because you can kind of hold on to it and get the camera up a little bit. I have the monitor, the vision display on the camera, so it also gets the camera up slightly above my hand, and it seems to work pretty good. Yeah, it's not so bad at all. I'm gonna, you know, I could clip this onto something in the car if I want to as well, or use a suction cup mount. Very, very cool. Let's see if I can get it pointing out the window. You can see here with my arm extended all the way. It's very usable, and I've actually got it in manual mode, so I've locked in the frame rate to 120. So I'm doing 60 frames per second video recording and 120 frames frame rate. So that'll give me a little bit of motion blur. Not that we're doing anything that requires motion blur here, but it's just a more natural image for the eye because there's going to be some motion blur at all times. And with that setting, basically I have automatic ISO, and it's about 300-ish to 400, depends on the lighting, but that's what it's showing me. It's adjusting the ISO to compensate for the frame rate and the video rate. So that's what it's doing. Pretty cool. Right. Some casual Fort Langley, kind of going in and out of the sun. Thought I'd just give you some partial sun, partial cloud. See how it does there with a bit of sun and then a bit of shade. So we're kind of going back into the shade. Just holding the camera by the vision dock essentially. Works just fine. Yeah, it's not too bad. You know what I haven't tried so far is running with a hat clip mount. So I'm just going to try and run as smoothly as possible, just so you can kind of see what it is like. I'll say when I'm running smooth, and then I'll kind of run normally, just to see how it reacts with stabilization and bounciness. All right, so a little bit of a run, trying to go smooth, and a little faster, not so smooth. Trying to run here. Yeah, we're back in the sun again. There's the mighty Fort Langley Fraser River. Beautiful area here. We take the dogs in Fort Langley quite often. It's part of the Fort to Fort Trail. It's quite nice. It's about a 2.5 mile loop, so maybe 3 miles if you do it right. If you start at the right place, you can do about 3 mile loop. It's pretty nice. So I got the meta glasses rolling, and I got the camera rolling, so you can see the camera and the viewing dock here, so we can see if everything's framed nicely. I'm in 4K 60 D-warp with horizon stabilization and auto, pretty much all auto mode. Just walking down the trail, but you can see what the meta glasses see and what the Nano Osmo Mini is seeing, which is pretty cool. And it's a little bit, it's not direct sun, but it's pretty bright. I'm not right in the sun, as you can see. Where the doggo? Come on, Sammy. But yeah, it looks good. I have a little tighter hat than I had on yesterday, so I'm feeling a lot less bobbling of the camera. So if you are going to wear the hat dock, I'd suggest you wear a fairly tight strap on it, so tighten it up. Otherwise, the camera weight can make it kind of bounce around a little bit more, which might affect the video quality, or at least the video stabilization slightly, with each footstep at least. But it seems to be doing a pretty good job. I'm not doing any kind of ninja walk, and I do kind of walk pretty rough. I'm heavy-footed, you could say. All right, so that gives you a good idea. We're actually coming into the sun here, so I'm just gonna let it roll a tiny bit more. As we roll into the sun, things should get a little bit more colorful. As the sun does, a little less, you know, when you're in a cloudy situation, the colors are a little more muted. When you get into the light and the sun, everything looks a little bit more colorful. It's almost like adding saturation. We have the witches of Fort Langley doing a witch dance. Pretty cool. If you're into witches. Yeah. Wow. Wonder if they fly on those things. Should we walk around, Nicole? And they're done. All right. I guess this is okay to call a woman a witch in this situation. We're just going back? Walking down Fort Langley Street here, the shops. We got some motorcycles over there, and yeah, it's a pretty nice area here. Lots of people, usually lots of dogs too. A little bit of everything.
Oh, the diner's closed.
Yeah, it closed a while ago, I think. Unfortunately.
You were here a long time.
It was.
Taking a picture?
We're taking video.
Oh,
This is an
okay.
example of the narrowest field of view, D-warp, so things should look pretty straight. And then the next shot is going to be ultra wide, just to go from one extreme to the other, just so you can see how the camera works. It's going to be in the same place. I'm not moving the camera, I'm just changing the field of view. And this is what it looks like, ultra wide, and I have stabilization off. So this should be using the full resolution of the sensor. And I did the same with dewarp. I have stabilization off just to get the absolute widest aspect ratio with each field of view.